Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and this one is going to be an analysis special. I'm going to be doing one of these from time to time on specific games, on bigger games that I feel are, well, something of a pinnacle in world football, even if it is the Premier League. I'm going to be trying to give my viewers, you guys, a general idea of what I think another team is doing. You can, of course, feel free to disagree, and it's going to be really basic stuff. It's not going to be like Gary Neville bullshit, where I'm just going to make extravagant directions or something like that. I'm not going to be doing any of that. It's just going to be really basic stuff, and it's going to explain some of the things that I want to uh, put forward to you guys. So maybe you can explain it better, probably in the comments below or somewhere in your videos. It's just an educational video. I'm gonna try to make it as simple as possible, although it is pretty basic stuff. So let's get on with it, shall we? Manchester United and Liverpool have always been one of the most looked after fixtures in the Premier League. It has gone back to the time when Sir Alex Ferguson had told that he would, and I quote, knock Liverpool off their perch. And he did it. Sir Alex Ferguson took Manchester United to 20 Premier League titles, surpassing their rivals. It has been one of the most thrilling games in the Premier League and one of the most enjoyable ones as well. So basically, the analysis starts here with, well, of course, Manchester United, because I wanted to start off with the away team, since people are really skeptical right now about if they're going to challenge for the title. Even their own fans are skeptical. But I'm going to point out a few things that I noticed in one of their recent games against Stoke, in which, in my opinion, Manchester United should have won that game 6-7-0. So this is Manchester United when they have possession. The two centre-backs, Bailly and Smalling, push up to the halfway line. The fullbacks are pretty advanced. Herrera is patrolling both the midfield and the wide areas in case of a counter, in case of loss of possession, and in case he needs to make extravagant tackles to stop any particular Stoke attack or threat. He is the needle midfielder currently in the setup. He is really important, and he has been really underrated by Manchester United fans and rival fans alike. And I think that he plays a really important role in how Manchester United would like to play their football. Most would say that Paul Pogba in this particular snap is too advanced. In my opinion, that's perfect. That suits him perfectly. He is currently stationed in the free role that was given to Wayne Rooney. Rooney restricted Paul Pogba, making the deep runs into the final third. Mata has a revolving role in the team. He is the one responsible for picking out Paul and Ibrahimovic with his balls, with his industry, with his trickery and his passes. Those are important in how Manchester United like to open up deep blocks. He is a rotational forward, and he has become something of a underrated player under Mourinho, although many of us, including myself, thought that he would probably be sold. Remember how I just recently said that Paul would be making deep runs? But there is also a case of something different right here. You see, Pogba has a free role. Like I said just now, he is occupied the role that was given to Wayne Rooney in terms of making the play wider and making the play as difficult for the opposition to handle as possible. In this phase, Pogba has possession in the deep. Lingard's inclusion into the team was smart from Mourinho. Although most United fans disliked it, it was actually the only needle wide player that Mourinho had at the time that would be making these extravagant runs from the wide into midfield, opening up space for both Antonio Valencia and Zlatan Ibrahimovic to exploit. Pogba has different options here. He could either slide the ball into the path of Lingard, who's making a darting run right into the middle. He could pass it along to Bailly on the other side. He could fling it towards Valencia. Or he could even pass it in between the lines towards Ibrahimovic. But he has chosen that he would rather fling the ball across the field into the final third as quick as possible to initiate the breakdown of the deep block. Because Stoke are man marking. They are not exploiting possession. They are man marking. They are not marking space. They are marking people. which makes it easier for Manchester United to open up that block. As seen, they've opened that up countless times, and it gives the game a whole new dimension. It makes the game incredibly fun to watch, and it makes Pogba incredibly effective as well, which is what Manchester United fans would basically want from him. He is currently controlling, and if the ball flings up and Ibrahimovic heads it down, he would be the midfielder getting on the end of it, making those darting Vieira-like runs, as most like to call it. Let's move on, shall we? Now, in this shot is one of my most favorite phases of Manchester United's play this season. Their incredible way of stopping counters, of stopping the opposition from playing. What we're basically seeing here is a Stoke midfielder is possibly, I didn't tell, it's possibly either Arnautovic or maybe it is Joel. He get caught in position, and the one tackling him is Bailly. That is how high Manchester United are currently pressing. The only reason Smalling is even back there is because he has to mark the danger of that one player that is making the darting run in behind the centre-backs. Now, what Manchester United do here is, whenever the ball is shifted to wide areas or shifted into midfield, they make the pitch as narrow as possible. It's something quite brilliant. They make the pitch as narrow and difficult as possible for the opposition to play. It's one of the reasons that Herrera was so wide in the first place. He was tasked into stopping counters, because counters basically don't normally start from the middle of the pitch because it's the most crowded area. Manchester United, while narrowing, force the opposition into the middle of the pitch so that many of their players can converge in, tackle, win the ball high up, and play it out the back. This is currently seen here. Bailly will take the ball off him. Herrera will come in. He'll play the ball into Marcus Rashford, who'll make the darting run to the wing, and Ibrahimovic, Paul Pogba, and even Antonio Valencia will be the one responsible for the forward play, which is, in all honesty, quite brilliant from Mourinho in terms of figuring out a way to stop the unnecessary counterattacks that Manchester United conceded under both Moyes and Louis van Gaal while they were playing at home. It makes the opposition weaker, it makes them vulnerable, it makes them difficult to play, and it makes Old Trafford a fortress again, which is something that United have lacked for a while actually. And this is quite positive, because as you can see, there are 4 players converging on the ball. 2 players are marking the wide areas. Antonio Valencia, as you can see, is making the darting runs to the winger. He's stopping the ball from going there. Everything is planned and everything is drilled into the players. I give Mourinho credit for this, although I hate the guy. Daley Blind. As much as he is a rival player, I can't help but put more praise on the guy with how he has conducted himself as a Manchester United player this season and before. This is one of the rare clips that I could find of him being extremely important to how Manchester United play out the back and progress their play forward. He has been one of the most underrated players in the Premier League for the past 2 to 3 seasons. He may have defensive frailties which are also being covered up. He is improving as a young player as well. But this is one of the things that he does best. I've underlined some of the passes that Daley Blind has the ability to make, which is one of the key reasons that I put forward the case of playing him as the defensive midfielder of the front 2 of Herrera and Pogba. He being able to fling the ball in different directions with his pass variation is something that Manchester United have severely lacked since Scholes left the field. This is one of the most important and one of the most fun part of analysing this Manchester United performance. Daley Blind, although playing left back, was the creative hub of that Manchester United team, despite Paul Pogba being in the midfield. While Pogba made the runs, Blind was the supplier. While Herrera was busy tackling, he was busy recycling possession and flinging it across the back 4. He was, in all aspects, playing as a hybrid of a midfield and a fullback. He made the runs as well. He passed the ball out towards the wing and the central players as well, and he was quite fantastic at it. I have to give Blind credit for this season that he's had, and I hope that he continues it, because I am personally really enjoying seeing this lad do so well in every position that he plays. His versatility is a huge factor to Manchester United, and I am so glad that Mourinho has given him the confidence, the ability, and the role that suits him and Manchester United, and I hope that he becomes one of the most important players for Manchester United and for the Barclays Premier League. So guys, that was the Manchester United analysis and their points on how they can exploit oppositions and how they are playing out the back this season. One of the most important aspects that I forgot to mention was that this is one of the most drilled Manchester United teams that I've seen in a while. They will get better. Mourinho is a great manager, and they will improve season after season. And it will make pretty difficult for Liverpool, to be honest, because United have always had their number. Even recently, despite losing at Old Trafford in the Europa League, they have always been pretty strong against Liverpool and how they play. What basically happens here is that United are making the pitch as wide as possible, making Liverpool cover too much extensive ground. They'll wait for them to get tired, and then they'll hit them on the counter. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll be posting the Liverpool analysis possibly on Saturday. Please stay with me. Thank you very much.